You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday, happy Jupiter day, and happy birthday to the Aquariuses of the world, including Paul Newman. Ellen DeGeneres is an Aquarius. I love that she represents community and giving back to the community. I guess there's been a little controversy with Ellen, but she's definitely someone who marches to the beat of her own drum, right? Sasha Banks, Eddie Van Halen is an Aquarius, was an Aquarius. Wayne Gretzky. Who else? Anyone else you're seeing? Angela Davis, Vince Carter. Of course, if you're here, if you're an Aquarius, if you are celebrating your birthday today, let us know so we can send you some love, or if there's someone in your world celebrating their solar return. Yes! Thank you for reminding me. Elsie, Katie's daughter, is celebrating her birthday. Another beautiful Aquarius in our community, sending so much love to Elsie today. Oh, she is lucky to have you as her mama, especially since you're both Aquariuses. You probably get her, you know. Love that. I hope you're doing something fun for Elsie's birthday. Good morning, Claudia. Happy Thursday to you, Corby. Hey, Nick. Hi, Rachel. Good morning, Rose. Let's see. All of the birthday love for Elsie. So in today's episode, I actually am going to move backwards because the way the transits are actually working out today, we're feeling what's going on with the moon right now. And of course, Venus moves into Pisces. If you clicked on this video, that's what we're talking about. That's the headline of today's forecast, but that doesn't happen until tonight. So we are going to, all the birthday love for Elsie keeps coming in. We're going to start with the moon, and then we're going to talk about Venus. Just makes more sense. But first, let's get a check on the current energy. The sun is in Aquarius. The moon is in Aries. So remember, Aquarius and Aries complement one another. The sun in an air sign, the moon in a fire sign. In general, there's a nice relationship going on between the sun and the moon today. Starting with the moon, still under the waxing crescent moon in Aries. And as we talked about the moon moving into Aries yesterday, it's a great time to get the ball rolling. You might be feeling some fresh energy, a fresh start in one way or another. And yeah, first sign of the zodiac, Aries is like, let's go. Let's do this. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's light a fire. Moving your body is definitely favored under the moon in Aries. I always like to remind you of that, especially because of the connections the Aries moon is making today. So overnight, 3 a.m., the moon formed a sextile to Mars. And I would love to hear, if you're joining me live, how the energy has felt for you this morning, because the transits are a little tense. We already have the moon in the most fiery fire sign, Aries, and it's making some tense connections. So 3 a.m. Pacific time, 6 a.m. Eastern time, maybe you woke up feeling this sextile between the moon and Mars. Great question. What opposes Aries? Libra is the opposite of Aries. So Aries is the self, Libra is relating with others, right? When the moon formed a sextile to Mars at 3 a.m., remember, Mars is the ruler of Aries. So we get this burst of energy, and that might have felt like restlessness to you. It could have helped you wake up ready to take action. It is a positive, a supportive connection between the moon and Mars. In fact, I'll bring up the chart here. You can see Mars is at 9 degrees. The moon is currently at 13 degrees. So we're still feeling this on some level. You can see that sextile right there. This can help us move forward, take action. Yeah, it was easier for me to wake up this morning not feeling as sluggish as usual. Mars can do that. Like, let's go, let's get up, let's get going. But it's what's coming after that might bring the tension. Nick felt the other end of that, probably stayed up super late. Mars keeping the party going, keeping him up, and then got up at 7:30 a.m. So yeah, if you had a hard time staying asleep or very active dreams even, or just like jumped out of bed this morning, there you go. Had some powerful dreams that jolted me into action, Corby says. Definitely felt the intensity, but journaled and was honest with myself. Amazing. Handling myself with grace and gentleness today. A great example for all of us. Yeah. Feeling gently confident. Katie says, I love that. Gently confident, especially when we're talking about a sextile between the moon and Mars. It's like asking us to lean into action, lean into that motivation and confidence. She says so much integration going from the last couple weeks, balancing bursts of activity and need for rest. I get that. Ready for change. Claudia says she woke up ready for change, like I want a new morning routine. Mars will do that, right? Mars is like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening and why? Yeah, and Nick, even though you didn't get much sleep, jumped out of bed. Okay, so sounds like Mars worked in our favor this morning. We're just able to get up, get going. But you might have also had a hard time if you wanted to staying asleep, or like Corby said, having some intense, powerful, action-packed dreams. At 6 a.m. Pacific time, so 9 a.m. Eastern time, the moon came into a square with Mercury. So we'll pull up the chart again, and you can see that square between the moon and Mercury. A square is a 90-degree angle. It represents tension. And this tension feels like the moon representing our emotions, our internal awareness, clashing with our mind. Our Mercury being the planet of communication. So this can feel like tension between the head and the heart, or how we feel and how we think. And especially with the moon in Aries, the way I feel this coming through is like, we want to go, we want to do, we have this feeling of lots of energy, as you're all saying, jumping out of bed. But with Mercury and Capricorn, the very slow, practical, serious sign of Capricorn, you might be second guessing yourself, or, you're feeling passionate and wanting to move forward, but your mind is like, but what if this? But what if that? Wait, we should slow down. Wait, we should make sure we have all the steps lined up, the long-term plan laid out, proceed with caution. So a little bit of anxiety can come up when our body is telling us to move, to go, to get it going, and our mind is like, wait. Do we have this all figured out? Do we really know what we're doing? Is this going to work out for us in the long run? So just a general air of like anxiety, because when we have pent up energy and don't really know where to put it, that can create a little bit of restlessness and anxiety. Katie, yeah, not like a Leo confidence, but like a whispering to myself, I can do this. We love that for you, Katie. Yeah, feeling this right now, Rachel says, trying to find a balance of what is actually real and what my mind is making up. Corby's feeling that anxiety too. Had to let myself feel and cry. Yeah, and the moon in Aries, it's that raw primal emotion. So sometimes we just need to feel without knowing why we feel the way we feel, And Mercury in Capricorn is very logical and like, wait, why are you feeling this way? Come on, it doesn't logically make sense. That's where that clash can come into. I find I burn out quickly when the moon is in Aries. Yeah, it's like, let's go. And then, we've got to crash. Maybe that opposition to the indecisiveness of Libra creates some of that. Definitely, it's like Aries is so sure, so headstrong, but being just a ball of energy, hurling yourself in one direction can definitely cause burnout. Lots of fears about the future and my relationships coming up. Just reminding myself to take it one day at a time. Don't fall into the stories my mind makes up. Yeah, and Mercury and Capricorn, again, it's like thinking about the long term. remember, we can live in the present moment. It's okay if we don't have the next 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, 10 years figured out right now. Mercury in Capricorn makes us want to have it all figured out right now, but the moon in Aries is very much in this moment, using the energy we have right now. What can we do today? What step can we take right now? Yeah, Corby, my Mercury is in Capricorn, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah, Mercury in Capricorn needs it to make sense, definitely. So there's where that kind of restlessness, anxiety can come up. And then we'll just add one more layer to the mix. And actually, what Rachel is saying about finding patience and grace for myself is a beautiful segue into the conjunction between the moon and Chiron that we are feeling right now. So not only is the moon squaring Mercury, but it's also conjunct Chiron. And you'll notice that Mercury is coming into a square with Chiron as well. And I believe that's exact tomorrow. So that's a theme that's coming up where it's like, does it make sense? We're really feeling our wounding today. We're feeling our pain. And we're like, why are we feeling this right now? Like, I thought we were over this, or this doesn't make sense that this wounding is coming back up right now. So finding grace, finding patience for yourself can be part of the healing process, because remember, Chiron is that icy outer body in our solar system known as the wounded healer, representing our deepest wounds, our deepest pains, but also, once we have that awareness of them, our ability to heal them and then share that healing with others. Yeah, Corby knew intuitively. You're like, Chiron's doing something today. Yeah. That makes sense. Feeling all the feelings, just wanting to cry. So this morning, if you woke up feeling any anxiety or not really knowing why you feel the way you feel, Chiron, Mercury, even Mars in the mix, like bringing that, okay, we got energy. What are we going to do with it? But then like also, why are we feeling the things we're feeling, you know? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Rachel says, it's interesting. I think this is why the Aries moon is a lot for me. I mean, the Aries moon is a lot in general. It rules my 8th house. Yeah, that adds to it as well. But with Chiron in my 7th, it's like unlocking all those shadows in my relationships, how I show up. Yeah, and a lot of relationship healing happening for you with Chiron in your 7th house. So knowing actually where the moon is in your chart right now, because it's conjunct Chiron, this can signal to bigger themes that we're feeling, that we've been feeling really for the past year. And especially as Mercury comes into a square with Chiron over the next couple days, knowing where Chiron is in your chart can be really helpful to know, what am I working on healing right now? So knowing which house it's in, especially for those of you who are in transit tracking. Later this week, we're going to be talking about the different planets and placements. So this is a little preview if you're feeling like you're ready to take in more information, looking at, okay, what house does 12 degrees of Aries fall in my chart? Right around that middle point of Aries. That's where a lot of the wounding and healing work has been happening for you and will likely keep happening for a while. Chiron spends a long time in Aries, specifically, like years. So he's going to be there for a while. Might as well get comfortable with him and know, okay, what am I working through? What am I working on right now? And how can I just be more open to healing in that area? And remember, feeling is healing. The Aries moon conjunct Chiron reminds us feeling is healing. We got to feel it to heal it. Even the uncomfortable stuff, even the stuff that we don't really want to fully acknowledge, right? If we keep suppressing it, it's going to blow up at some point. We got to work through it at some point. If there's anything that astrology teaches us, it's like there's no escaping certain emotions. There's no escaping certain experiences. So might as well lean into them, especially on a day like today when the moon is conjunct to Chiron. Corby says Chiron is in her 9th house in Cancer. Interesting. So Chiron in Cancer for you. So this is your natal Chiron in Cancer, right? So that just signals probably like mother wounds that you are here to work through. But where is the middle of Aries in your chart? That's going to tell you where transiting Chiron is working through your chart and bringing current healing to your life. So not only knowing for you, Chiron in Aries is squaring your Chiron in Cancer. We're getting deep into it now, but knowing where your natal Chiron is really helpful too, because it's showing you what relationship it's having with the current transiting Chiron right now as well. I know there's so much to unlock in astrology. So when I say like, look at where Chiron is in your chart, it's not just where your natal Chiron is, where Chiron was when you were born, but also where is transiting Chiron in your chart? Where is that puppy moving through? Where is it opening up wounds and forcing you to heal, right? Yes, we are in HD now. If you missed that the other day, I upgraded the subscription and now we're streaming in HD. So even more crisp than before. Thanks for the love, babe. Finding that clarity of what I need to keep healing day by day. Yeah, and healing is a journey, not a destination. We're human for a reason. We're here to feel it all, right? I'm so thankful you're in the class, Rachel. Yes, and grateful for the awareness. What a beautiful place to be in. We know we got to feel the things. Grateful for the awareness of how we can work through them and how we can heal them faster just by being aware of what's going on in our lives, being willing to be aware. I mean, give yourselves all a pat on the back if you're here because you're willing to kind of uncover parts of your psyche through astrology just by like, oh, okay, how is this interacting with my life? Having those moments of reflection through astrology. It's not, I think it is magical, but it's so powerful that you just decided this is helpful for me and my mental health, and this is how I feel good showing up and how I feel good being more aware about myself. My kids have been so easy to cry. Both have Chiron and Pisces. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Took the words out of my mouth. All I can say is thank you. I needed the awareness and I'm willing to do the work. You are freaking amazing, Corby. Chiron is on your north node in the 11th house. Wow. I feel like that could signal, I don't know if you are somebody who feels called to heal others, but healing being found in community, you finding community, your north node in the 11th house. You're meant to be part of something bigger than yourself, and Chiron might be bringing up some friendship wounds or community wounds for you, but also showing you that you showing up in your community is very healing. And of course, we love having you is what I'm trying to say in this community. So yeah, I love that you're here. Maybe this is part of your healing journey, being in our community. I love that, Rose. It's funny, in my podcast today, Rachel says she was like, all the emotions and anxiety is literally along for the ride. It's best to just acknowledge them, feel it, keep going. Yeah, like, okay, what are you trying to show me right now? Getting rid of you is not, there are things we can do, especially under the Aries moon. Moving your body can help move any tension, move any anxiety, but also acknowledging. We're not just trying to like, oh, I don't want to feel this, throw it to the side. Like, okay, what are you showing me and how can I work with you? Yeah. Love that, Rachel. 6th house, Aries for you. So yeah, so many puzzle pieces. Exactly. So Chiron is likely bringing up some health, wellness, or wounding around maybe your routines. Even work, the 6th house can rule like daily productivity and tasks. So I would say probably health, but you best. You're your own best astrologer. So you can kind of reflect on how those 6th house themes are coming up in your healing. What degree of Aries right now? So Chiron is at 12 degrees of Aries. The moon is at 13 degrees of Aries. So I would just look right to the middle of Aries to see which house it's falling in. And if it's on the cusp too, you might be kind of feeling the energy of both houses. 6th house would be health and wellness for you, your routine. 7th house would be relationships, one-on-one partnerships. Definitely feel the need to heal others. Physical therapist, there you go. So Chiron on your north node is like, your purpose is to heal yourself and then heal others. I love that that's happening for you. You have Chiron in Taurus. So your Chiron return will be coming in the next couple years, Nick. Moving through Aries, which is your 5th house, no planetary placements, healing some creativity wounds, some inner child wounds for you. I love that we're diving into where all of our Chiron placements are. That's how you know that this is or I hope you feel, this is a safe space. We're all just talking about our wounds here. Chiron gives us permission. I love that Chiron helps us like name our wounds through an asteroid. Like, this is where my Chiron is, you know. It's a lot easier than being like, yeah, I have some wounding around this. Anyway, that's what's going on with the moon. I love that we came on as the moon is conjunct Chiron. Naming our wounding, naming what we're going through is part of the healing process. And the moon in Aries might make that wounding feel really potent right now in this moment, but feeling it is healing it. Yes, this is a safe space. We love having you here. Your natal Chiron is in Libra, so you're experiencing a Chiron opposition. Same as my North Node and rising. Yeah, so probably showing up more in that 7th house theme for you, or at least it's going to be soon. Yeah, wow. Okay, let's talk about Venus and Pisces. Much more fun than talking about Chiron. And Venus is at the anaretic degree right now. Oh yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole. Checking on all the other asteroids in your chart. There's so many asteroids you can find, and they all have different meanings. Yeah, there's always something more to learn in astrology. Your natal Chiron is conjunct your ascendant. Yeah, Chiron is transiting on your North Node right now. I mean, even so, Chiron on your ascendant, like, you are meant to show up as a healer. You might wear your wounds physically, but that can help you heal other people. Love it. And physical therapy, like on your ascendant, helping you heal other people. I love this for you, Rose. Okay, Venus and Pisces. So here we go. Here's the chart. Venus, she's at the 29th degree right now, only adding to the energy of like restlessness and a little anxiousness. And with Venus at the anaretic degree of Aquarius specifically, it can feel like the need to detach, or just like, this is like too much. I just need to check out. You know, Aquarius energy is very detached. And over the past few weeks, Venus in Aquarius has made us a little bit more detached or cold in relationships, even with money. But from that place of taking space, we might have been open to new perspectives in love, money, and beauty, the things ruled by Venus. Now that Venus is moving into Pisces from January 26th to February 19th, keep in mind, Venus will be in Pisces for Valentine's Day, which is just all the romantic vibes. Yes, please. We love Venus in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. And what that means is it's not Venus's home sign in modern astrology, but it's the next best place for it to be. And keep in mind, Venus is ruled by Neptune. But before Neptune was discovered as a planet, remember, astrology has been around a lot longer than we've known about Neptune. Before Neptune was discovered, Venus was the ruler of Pisces. So it's believed that Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Just goes to show Venus is very comfortable in Pisces, in the sign of the fish. So let's talk about this energy we're diving into starting tonight. Venus will move into Pisces at about 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern time. I would say tonight and into tomorrow, Venus at 0 degrees of Pisces is like falling in love, wanting to fall in love, being overly romantic, just all the ooey gooey, lovey-dovey feels, okay? Because Pisces is that sweet, sensitive energy. Venus in Pisces feels like buying 100 roses and filling them in a room to declare your love to someone else. It feels like a boombox moment, you know, the moment in Say Anything where he stands outside the window. It's like all of the most romantic things you can think about in, you know, romance movies feel very Venus in Pisces. So it's whimsy, it's romance, it's the hearts, it's the flowers. It's also not just physical representations of love, it's the emotion behind those displays of affection, right? Like just this feeling of overwhelming love, one love as well, with Pisces being associated with spirituality, reminding us that we are love. Love isn't a thing that we give and take. It's part of us. It's an energy exchange, right? And Venus in Pisces can tap us into the love of all. I am you. I am love. I love you because you are me. I love it. It's just like diving into a pool of love. So we're really aware of the higher expressions of love, and we can open our hearts more easily with Pisces being already so sweet, sensitive, and loving. It's like with Venus here, let that love flow. Open your heart and just let it out. Say how you feel. Be sensitive. Be willing to go there. We're more open to receiving it, and we're more open to giving it. Now, as we've been talking so much about Chiron, Pisces is also a very healing sign. Remember, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So there's a lot of healing and closure that comes from Pisces transits. So Venus moving through this sign also reminds us that love is healing. There's an opportunity to heal relationships. There's an opportunity to heal money wounds by tapping into oneness, by tapping into the ability to receive love, to give love, to know that you are love. All you have to do is align with the vibration of love, and what you want to manifest, what you want to call in, is going to come to you more easily. Forgiveness and compassion are easier to tap into with Venus and Pisces as well. Now, with all transits, there's a shadow and a light. This transit feels very light, feels like the love of the pearly gates of heaven. Like, the things I'm saying, I'm like, part of me is like, ugh, what am I even saying right now? It's all my Virgo energy. I'm like, too much, Olivia, too much. But Venus in Pisces is like, be too much. It's like being in the honeymoon phase when you're like, oh gosh, these people are obsessed with each other. That's the vibe we're putting out with Venus and Pisces. Now, here's maybe a potential shadow of Venus and Pisces, something to keep in mind because Pisces is associated with fantasy, illusion, delusion. It's easy to fall down the rabbit hole. It's easier to jump into relationships, to only see through the rose-colored glasses, to be in that honeymoon phase and maybe not see the red flags that could pop up if you are newly in a relationship or newly wanting to invest in an opportunity, or even deciding, I'm just going to renovate my house and paint the whole thing bright pink because that's so whimsical and fantastical, right? So it's easier to be deceived and confused and to be a little bit overly romantic or overly romanticize things with Venus and Pisces. But we're all going to be feeling like just fantastical love. Like love feels like a fantasy with Venus and Pisces. I'm here for it. Personally, I'm here for it. Again, Valentine's Day with Venus and Pisces, just hand in hand. Perfect combo. It's going to be towards the end of Venus and Pisces, so we're really going to be in this energy. And I have a feeling it's going to be a very romantic Valentine's Day. People are going to be feeling those romantic vibes. Went down the we already talked about this. I just saw a rabbit hole and thought Venus and Pisces, right? Okay. Kylie says, my natal Venus is in Pisces. So what would that mean with this transit? Well, that means you're going to have your Venus return. And anytime we have a planetary return, it's kind of like a reset button on that planet moving through your chart, right? So Venus and Pisces is going to feel really good for you, really natural for you, maybe a new chapter in relationships, in money, but you're really going to be in your Venusian element, in your element when it comes to love, money, and beauty with Venus transiting through Pisces over the next 3 weeks or so. So there's a really natural energy to this for you, and it should feel kind of like a coming home in those areas of your life. So interesting to witness my daughter with Venus and Pisces, and she has a Capricorn moon. Well, that is a nice balance, if I do say so myself. So sometimes I'm not sure if she's going to be emotionally attached or detached. Yeah, if she's going to be like, oh, I just want to snuggle you, mama, and like love you. Snuggling, definitely in season for Venus and Pisces. Or with her Capricorn moon, if she's like, no, I just need my space. This doesn't even make sense right now. Like, I need to process my emotions mentally. Isn't it cool, though, how astrology can give us permission and show us all the different parts of ourselves? Like, you can be both, you can be both. I have a feeling, though, she's going to be a little more warm and fuzzy during Venus and Pisces. So soak that in. Soak in that love from your baby girl, especially for her birthday. I love that Venus is moving into Pisces on her birthday. Yes, I just want all the romance, all the feels, just don't want to go overboard. Yeah, and I will say, we are all feeling more romantic, which is helpful. I think that's a good thing personally. But Pisces opposes Virgo, and Virgo has very high expectations. Pisces, not that it doesn't have high expectations, but it has very blurry boundaries. We're not as willing to say what we expect during a Pisces transit. So that could come with like overly romanticizing or having like this vision of what you think love is going to look like, and maybe being a little sad girl, or let down, if the romance doesn't meet the vision you had in your mind's eye. So something to keep in mind. And remember, like, you can be the one to generate the romance too. Date yourself if you're not in a relationship with Venus and Pisces. Take yourself out to a nice dinner. Get yourself some wine if that's your thing. Buy the box of chocolates for yourself for Valentine's Day. Throw on a really cheesy romance movie. Cry your eyes out. Venus and Pisces. Just let all that love flow through you. Ah, yes. Love that sentiment about closure, especially as you enter another year around the sun. Yeah. Finding closure in love, finding healing in love. Rachel says, Pisces rules my 7th, but mostly my 6th. Maybe this transit can help me finding healthier habits of how I show up in my relationships. Yeah. And as my Venus moves into your 7th house, I know you said relationships have been a little challenging for you, maybe falling back in love with those people. Recovering from an injury, your knee is swollen, taking it easy, lots of ice packs, going to relax, throw on a romance movie with Venus and Pisces, right? Going through my, okay. Wish everyone luck in love. It's a beautiful time to fall in love. Technical issues today. Yeah, I don't know if Mercury is technically, it's coming into the end of its shadow period, but I agree. Better than Venus and Aquarius. I personally think, well, it's not even just me personally. Venus is more comfortable in Pisces than it is in Aquarius. So just in general, regardless of how you feel or relate to the different signs, Venus in Pisces is going to feel much more loving, romantic, flowy, all those things. Yeah, that's so your daughter. We bed shared for 3 years and she loves to snuggle, but often doesn't want hugs when I drop her off at school. She's like, no, I'm my own person. Don't embarrass me, Mom. Love that. She is a Capricorn moon. She's like, this is only what we do behind closed doors. Like, too cool. And especially being an Aquarius, too cool for school, right? Love that. Well, Venus is almost there. Venus is almost in Pisces. The love is coming. The flow of romance and energy is coming. I'm here for it. And remember, Venus, if you want to manifest, money, Venus rules money, being in the energy of love, being in the energy of acceptance, tapping into one love, universal consciousness. We're all one, and being in that energy of generosity and giving and connection with other people is what opens us up to receive a little more easily. Let's come back to our affirmation of the day, which is, I can choose peace in any situation. This is the affirmation because of what's going on with the Aries moon. It's really easy to choose violence under the Aries moon. We can choose peace, okay? We can choose peace. And I will say also, with the moon conjunct Chiron, that wounding can bring up triggers. It's easy to fire things off under the Aries moon. We can choose peace, even if that's just taking some space. Like, we know the love is on its way. I'm having a hard time talking today too, by the way. Maybe that's the end of Mercury's shadow period, like Nikki was talking about with tech issues. Anyway, I digress. Taking some space, finding that peace within yourself so you can re-enter relationships, knowing that the love of Venus and Pisces, it's on its way. Peace is coming. Venus and Pisces should feel pretty peaceful as well. So I can choose peace in any situation. It's a choice we can make, even if that means choosing peace by setting a boundary, by removing yourself, finding that peace within. So you don't take out your wounding on other people. So you don't take out your triggers on other people, right? That's not helpful for anybody. The affirmation I needed today. Yeah. If you feel like choosing violence under the Aries moon, try choosing peace instead. See how that works out for you. Okay, and we're going to finish up with a card pull from the Rose Oracle because we've been talking so much about hearts and flowers and roses and Venus and Pisces. It just feels right. So this is your chance to ask any final questions, share any final insights, maybe what you're most looking forward to with Venus and Pisces, or just any healing thoughts, words that you're experiencing during this Chiron transit right now too. Yeah, Kylie's really feeling that Aries moon today. Lots of fire. Move the fire. Just move that energy. Yesterday, it's like do 20 jumping jacks. If that's how you got to move the fire, that's how you got to move the fire, even if it feels a little silly. But again, Venus all day is at the anaretic degree. So when a planet's at the 29th degree, that brings an energy of restlessness too. Like, let's just get on with it already. Impatience, if you will. Aries energy is already impatient. Move your body. Move your body. Peace is the better way. And that is a way to find peace too sometimes, is like, I'm just going to take 10 minutes and go walk around the block, or put on some music and just move to it and not care what I look like, you know? Ooh, I love this mantra. Katie says, I have an abundance of time to help me slow down. Yeah, Venus in Pisces does feel like slowing down. It's like wading through beautiful waters. You know, you can't move too fast when you're in water. So Venus in the watery sign of Pisces, it's like soaking in every loving moment, wanting to slow down, not wanting the loving moments to end, wanting to snuggle just a little bit longer. Yeah, I have an abundance of time. I love that. Yeah, sometimes that it feels like that Mercury's shadow period is more difficult than the actual retrograde. Better to take care till Mercury is out of its shadow. Be more mindful. Yeah. Kylie already danced it out. Love that for you, Kylie. Yes. Chocolate for breakfast. She's ready for Venus and Pisces. Do you ever feel the energy of the next day? Sometimes I notice I feel the energy of the day more the day before. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, remember, astrological transits, we feel them within, some astrologers say a 5-degree orb, some astrologers say an 8-degree orb. So especially when we're talking about aspects like connections, for example, Mercury coming into a square with Chiron, you might be really feeling that already today, like really aware of your triggers and woundings, trying to make sense of them with Mercury and Capricorn. That's something we'll dive into tomorrow. But you can absolutely feel the energy of the day multiple days before, multiple days after. The moon, I will say, the transits we feel with the moon, unless they're super late at night, super early in the morning, you're probably going to feel them more the day of, just because the moon moves so quickly. But it's possible. It's possible to feel things with the moon the day before and the day after too, especially like a full moon or a new moon or the moon's phases. It's easy to feel those a few days before and after. Aspects, though, you could feel those. I mean, if it's a slow planet, if it's like an aspect between Uranus and Saturn, we can feel that thing for months. So absolutely, you can feel the energy the day before, the day after, the week, the month before, depending on what planets we're talking about. Yeah. Okay. The card, oh my gosh, I just looked at it and a card popped out as I was shuffling, and you're going to die when you see this. Or maybe not. You're going to live when you see this. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. So much of our conversation today has been about healing, and this reminder came through in a big way. Healing is happening. You are not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. And oh my gosh, I just opened the guidebook directly to this page. So, okay, universe, we hear you. Here's the message we're here to receive today. You are not broken. You're part of an ever-changing nature of life. Ever-changing, ever-changing, ever-changing. Change is your natural state. The rose knows that you were never meant to stay the same, to be one single shape, size, or way. You're not normal, and that's normal. You're always becoming more and more of who you truly are. Healing is happening every moment of every day. You're returning to your true state every moment of every day. Call in your support team of people who can hold you in that, who can trust in the grace of your natural state. A true healer knows that they're not the one doing the healing. Rather, they're holding the vision of the return to wholeness, knowing that wholeness is not a stagnant state. When you embrace all parts of life, from the ecstasy to the agony, the joy to the grief, the bloom to the fall, the bud to the rose hip, you'll realize that healing is always happening and life is on your side. No one is immune to the polarity of this human experience. The only way through it is to embrace all parts of it, the light and the shadow. And as any healer or initiate knows, the only way to the light is to embrace the shadow within. The shadow, and sometimes the pain, is a portal to your liberation. You are not broken. You are healing. Healing is happening. Trust in the timing of life. Healing is happening. Healing is happening. Healing is happening. No words. Wow. That was so beautiful. I mean, just everything we've talked about, all of the beautiful vulnerability you shared about where Chiron is in your chart, what might be coming up for you. I receive this message, and so it is. Healing is happening every moment of every day. You are worthy of healing, and it's already happening for you. And I even love how Katie shared that affirmation. I have an abundance of time, and the guidebook literally says, what does it say? It says, trust in the timing of life. Trust in the timing of life was the line that ended that whole beautiful description. I have an abundance of time. Trust in the timing of life. Healing is happening in every moment. What a beautiful way to end our conversation together today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I'm so proud of each and every one of you for showing up day by day, doing the work, opening yourself to insights, opening yourself to the healing that astrology can provide, and supporting each other in this community that we're building. Yeah, I'm biased because of the name of the deck. Of course, you love the Rose Oracle, even like Rose Oracle. Yeah, you should get this deck if you don't already have it. Eyeing it at your local crystal store. Today's the day. It's your sign. The next time you're by that crystal store, this is your deck, Rose, the Rose Oracle. I mean, it literally has your name on it. I love that. Thank you for sharing your energy with us, Corby. We love having you here. And it's just incredible to witness all of your journeys, our collective rise. If you're new here, if you have contributed to the chat, maybe for the first or second time today, we're so grateful for you being part of this community too. If this is your first time watching, please like the video, subscribe to the channel so we can keep these videos coming to you for free every day. And for those of you who keep showing up, you are rock stars. You're amazing. And I hope you know how brightly you shine your light. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. May you experience and express love fully. Until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.